Now then, welcome to a slightly different episode of Now That's Midschool. In this episode, I will be comparing two frames from the Solid Bikes Midschool catalogue. During a trip to Bournemouth in October, I had the chance to do a side-by-side comparison of my Gen 2 Solid Bikes Killing Machine and Matt Nicklen's Solid Bikes KP Ripper. Or is it a Euro killing machine? During my research for this video, I discovered several things. Firstly, 20 years gives plenty of opportunity for dates and timescales to get hella out of whack. I knew that the Duke frame came first, and I thought that the Killing Machine came second, followed by the Wasp. It turns out that the latter two came the other way around, and in all likelihood the Killing Machine replaced the Duke. So for a long time I thought the Gen 1 Killing Machine arrived around 1999. But during my thumbing through pages of Ride BMX, it wasn't until late 2000 where the Killing Machine was first spotted in shop adverts and in a Solid Bikes ad in Ride BMX. Which leads me to my second revelation, that my Gen 2 Killing Machine is, in all probability, at the earliest, a 2002. 2003 seems to be the favourite though in reality. This brings me nicely in line with the Aaron Huff endorsed The Bay BMX blogspot, of which I'll put a link in the show notes for. According to the Bay BMX blogspot, Kevin Porter's version of the Gen 2 Killing Machine was also put into production the same year, and when built up, you wouldn't be able to tell the two apart from one another, especially if viewing from the drive side. But then I came across a thread that suggested that there are subtle differences between the Euro Killing Machine and the KP Ripper. For me, Solid Bikes produce some of the most amazing looking BMX frames ever fabricated. Anybody that knows me even slightly knows that I'm a sucker for wishbones on frames, especially seat stay wishbones, and until the event of super short rear triangles, Solid produced their fair share with that feature. But other details seem to set them on an altogether different level to contemporary frame builders. Their externally machined seat tubes, their exquisitely formed head tubes. Beyond the Midschool era, their laser cut details in stay bridges, and another favourite of mine, their signature style gussets that went on to adorn just about every frame they ever produced, including those for other brands. So let's take a look at the Gen 2 Killing Machine, Euro Killing Machine and the KP Ripper. Starting at the back, it appears that the dropouts are the same between the three frames. Moving forward, the stays seem to be pretty much identical. As we get towards the front triangle, this is where the differences start to materialise. The upper wishbone appears to be identical, but at the bottom bracket junction, the fully circular mono-stay tube of the Killing Machine gets a hefty section cut away from the bottom to make attachment to the smaller Euro bottom bracket shell of the Euro Killing Machine and the KP Ripper. Looking up to the seat tube, as with the Killing Machine, there is a hole for cable routing through the seat tube on the Euro Killing Machine and KP Ripper. According to the internet, it's the KP Ripper that benefits from a welded-on captive nut to accommodate a cable adjuster. Moving further up, I've seen on the interweb searches frames labelled as KP Rippers with the captive nut detail and two small cable guides on the top tube. One around the middle of the top tube and one close to the head tube on the side of the top tube, but there's quite a handful of purported rippers with a regular cable stop and hole in the seat tube, just like Matt's frame here. Next up are the gussets. I thought that the direction of the sword cutout in the gussets were an indication of frame type. Regular Gen 2 Killing Machines with the point of the sword pointing towards the rear, with Euro Killing Machines and KP Rippers swords pointing towards the head tube. That was until I saw a Killing Machine that once belonged to Rob Vasey with the sword pointing towards the head tube. The final supposed difference being tube diameters and a resulting gap between top and down tubes at the head tube junction. You can certainly see a gap between the tubes, just big enough to maybe get a child's finger between, which is, according to some, a detail of the KP Ripper and not the Killing Machine, or Euro. But again, I've seen purported Euros without the gap, so go figure. So yeah, a definitive spec of the KP Ripper and Euro Killing Machine are evading me right now, a handful of variables making things tricky to decipher. It doesn't help matters when you take into consideration that Solid was offering customisable frames before most others, but that only adds to the mystique of Solid bikes and their venerable killing machine and its derivatives. I did reach out to Aaron Huff for comment prior to embarking on this search for the rainbow's end, and he did respond, saying he'd see what he could dig out of his grey matter, but as yet, still no hard facts from the man himself. Fingers crossed he'll come good though, and when he does, I'll be sure to let you know. In the meantime, Matt, the jury's still out on what you have. I'm sure that there'll be a few viewers that have an opinion on the subject, and I'd love to hear them. If you're one of the few current owners of any variation of the killing machine, let us know in the comments or on the Now That's Midschool Instagram. Although until Aaron or one of the guys that fabricated these frames pipes up, the whole subject is still prone to conjecture. Wrapping things up, I'd like to thank Matt Nicklen for facilitating the meeting of the two solids, which is the equivalent of some sort of celestial miracle, I reckon. I've enjoyed doing this episode and I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If you did, give it a like, drop us a comment, and please do share on your social medias and forums that you may be part of. Until next time, this is Matt Barton signing out of the YouTube. Later.